Hello, everyone, and welcome to our show, and welcome to our class. So this is the beginning of the week, and it is June 6th. So today's topic is so important, and in order to transform, I wanted to talk about I am worthy, because we all need to feel a sense of being worthy if you're going to transform. So worthiness is directly affected to every action that we take every single day. Now, I have studied some courses with Brene Brown, and I want to read a quote from her because it's really important. Wholehearted living is about engaging in our lives from a place of worthiness. It means cultivating the courage, the compassion, and the connection to wake up every morning and think, no matter what gets done and how much is left undone, I am enough. It's going to bed at night thinking, yes, I am imperfect and vulnerable and sometimes afraid, but that doesn't change the truth that I'm also brave and worthy of love and belonging. And that's from Brene Brown. How many of you have consciously or unconsciously decided to shrink down in front of others because you felt like you weren't enough? No matter how much you accomplish, whether you do a lot or nothing at all, you're still worthy of the love and the happiness and connections in life, which is part of our basic needs that drive us every day. I coach a lot of my clients on this very topic, and it's kind of interwoven in their everyday, and they don't even realize the topic that we're doing, because it shows up in the face of, why aren't I charging enough? Why can't I feel like I am able to charge enough for the services that I offer? And they have to do some work here, because it's not just something automatic. It does take time to work through some of those barriers. But when they do, they finally realize that they are worth the amount of money that they charge. So their self-image actually finally catches up with the outer image that's projecting out there. And I know firsthand, because I've gone through that transformation myself, and it's a great leap to take. And as we were talking about Brene Brown in The Gifts of Imperfection, she speaks about when we can let go of what other people think and own our own story, we gain access to our worthiness. The feeling that we are enough just as we are, and that we are worthy of love and belonging. Now, it's really interesting because we all get messages of whether we're worthy or not in a wealthy community, in any community that you grow up in. So I happen to be able to grow up in a wealthy community, and the underlying messages that I received was that if you have money, then you're enough. If you go out with this particular son and daughter that was part of the A-list, then you are enough. If you get to go on vacation to the hot spots that everybody goes to, then you are enough. If you were invited to certain parties, whether they were located at the Pierre or the Waldorf in New York, then you were enough. Well, that's not always the case, that you get to go to those parties, that you get invited to these vacations, that you get to participate in some of those activities. And so I know firsthand that many of the people that I grew up with, including myself, got the messages that they were not enough. And so you start to internalize these messages. And what I'm worried about is that these messages are constantly bombarding us in our daily lives. Single men and women wonder if they haven't found love. Is it because they're not worthy of love? Am I not successful because I'm not worthy? It is the biggest mistake we can make when we tie our self-worth to things like, I will be worthy when I get married. I will be worthy when I'm at my ideal weight. I will be worthy I don't know, if I have wrinkles on my face. Whether I have wrinkles or not, it doesn't mean that I'm worthy. Because regardless of my house, regardless of what the car that I drive, the fact that I own a car, the fact that I have a house, um, isn't dependent on my worthiness. Because this list that you're going to set up for yourself to achieve is endless. And once you achieve it, you're going to feel like, okay, now what else do I need to feel to be worthy? So I want you to stop pursuing those things and realize, take a deep breath and realize you are worthy as you are. As imperfect as you are worthy, because there is no such thing as being perfect. And I've come to understand that this is directly tied to self-esteem. Now, self-esteem to me is like a little seed that you keep on planting. And I know I always reference planting because it's just so something that you guys can relate to. So, and you just got to keep planting and nurturing those seeds of self-esteem. And it does grow over time, because I know that I am not the same person. When I was 20, I really lacked a lot of self-esteem and self-confidence, because I started tying my self-worth to the things like popularity, and my values were completely not aligned with my actions. And I realized that as I was growing, and I guess maturity takes on, and helps you form who you are later on in life. So I'm definitely have grown my 20s to my 30s and have changed and realized what my priorities are. One of the biggest saboteurs in your life is when you compare yourself to others. And once you do that, it really starts threatening your own self-esteem. So when you compare yourself to others who have more money, more success, is prettier or more beautiful than you are, you're placing values on these things, and you're not placing value on who you are, your strengths, your talents, and your skills. And that's what it should be concentrating on who you are in this world. You have so much to offer others. And you can start telling yourself, let me give you an example. So some of the traits that you have, if you start telling yourself, I am thoughtful, I am creative, I am talented, I am a person filled with integrity, I am honest. These are affirmations that could help you further your self-esteem and help you start planting that seed of worthiness. At first glance, I could say it was, from my experience, media that that helped shape my difficulties in my 20s. Or I could say that it was the standards placed on my community, it was all their fault. Or I can say that put the blame on my friends. But in truth, it was the fact that I decided to believe these ideas. I decided, and I created my own checklist of what was valuable and what would create my worthiness at the time. But now I own my own worthiness, and it is time that you did too. So I hope you take the time to think about how you are worthy. And once you take that back into your own hands, once you gain back your own personal power, you are no longer a victim of your circumstances. You have the control to navigate your own life. You do. It's your choice. Every time I make a conscious decision to make myself a priority and put myself first, I am acknowledging my own self-worth. And for me, this takes a lot of self-awareness to do. It's not something that I've always done and still do not do automatically. So as I take time out to go take a manicure, pedicure, I am showing myself that I am worth taking that time out to have that manicure and pedicure. So think about things that you can do that could help you create your own worthiness. So I take time out and tell myself, I'm going to take time out for myself and create a plan so I can eat healthy because I'm worth it. I'm going to take time out and create boundaries and not let people cross these boundaries because I am worth it. I'm going to take myself and commit to my relationships, whether it's with my spouse or my friends or my siblings, because I know that I'm committed to these relationships and I am worthy of having these relationships and it's worthwhile for me. So when I respect myself and my boundaries, I ultimately am nourishing my worthiness instead of trying to go through this endless loop of deciding who, what to do next. My job, quite honestly, is not to make everybody else happy. And that's why I had to start creating these boundaries, because I was, and this I learned with time, is that I was always trying to do things for other people to gain their love and connection. And when I started creating these boundaries, I realized that I was gaining the love of somebody more important, and that was the love of myself and respecting myself too. So I want you, like I said, your job is to make yourself happy. So I want you to go have fun with it. And your homework assignment is to think about this. What actions can I take right now if I believed that I was good enough? What is the one thing I can do? This is the second question. To feel good about myself today. What activities can I do that are more meaningful and will give me a greater sense of worth? Sometimes it's not about you. Sometimes, I get such great satisfaction when I give to others and I volunteer. And I believe in giving back. And it's true that when you volunteer, you get so much more than actually the person that is the recipient of what you're giving. So go out and volunteer and get out of this box or the rut that the world is all just about you. And you will begin to realize and be able to put your thoughts and perspectives into a reality check. So don't wait for things to be good enough to start whatever you want to start. Go out there and take action. And just go ahead and start because you are good enough. And remember to follow through. Follow through on the things that you've committed to, because as you follow through the small steps that we've set up for you in your goals, this will help you create your self-esteem and your self-confidence and keep going in that activity loop. So this is the time to let go of all the lies and the stories that we've told ourselves and that people have told us. And you need to be aware of what these limiting stories are. You deserve to be loved by yourself and love yourself exactly as you are. And I'm going to leave you with this amazing affirmation. And the affirmation is simply as this: I want to allow myself to let go of the old story that I am unworthy and celebrate the new story with, here's the affirmation: I am worthy of love, success, and happiness. And so with that thought, I am looking forward to your homework assignments, and have a great day. Thank you. Bye.